Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So a lot has happened and a lot of things are starting to settle down. And the reality of it is that everyone over here in Buckingham Palace, over here in the UK, is a lot happier within themselves now that Meghan and Harry have officially departed, at least temporarily, because we don't know what other interviews they will be doing or marketing schemes, advertising schemes they will be doing in aid of their Archwell brand. This article has been written by The Mirror, and basically what they have said as of this morning is that everyone's a lot calmer without them in the background, whining and moaning. Now, we know that Harry didn't even bother to hang around for his grandmother's birthday. He jumped on a private jet straight back home, and he actually avoided quite a few opportunities to reconcile with his family because, of course, we know his loyalty is with Meghan. So I'm going to get into this article, and this is actually from leaked sources from the palace. Prince Charles is putting together plans for how the royal family will work going forward, but an insider has claimed things are much calmer. Life behind the scenes at the palace has been much calmer since Prince Harry and Meghan Markle quit, a source has claimed. The Sussexes walked away from their senior roles in March last year in favour of a new life in LA with their son Archie, along with the Queen sacking Prince A over his relationship with Mr. J, left the firm without three working royals, with Prince Edward and Sophie Wessex stepping up to help out. Prince Charles is working out the logistics of how things will look going forward and has the job of carving up future engagements, projects and royal tours. As a way of supporting the Queen, the family have scheduled a meeting to sort out future business of the monarchy and design tailor-made roles for each of the 7 senior members of the firm. It will include collaboration and support for one another from the Prince of Wales, the Duchess of Cornwall, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, Princess Anne, and the Earl and Countess of Wessex. Despite the smaller team, a source said that things are calmer without Meghan and Harry. And of course they would be, because we know that all Meghan and Harry really did over here was whine, moan, complain, not get along with anyone, gaslight, and accuse everyone in the media of vilifying and victimizing them consistently, which simply just was not true. They was not true victims of anything that they truly claimed. They just wanted to be free of their royal duties. They did not want to graft at the job, and Meghan did not want to serve as a public servant over here in the UK. She didn't want to serve us, the British public. She just wanted money for nothing, and she wanted to spend as much money as she possibly could and live like a A-list celebrity. And it just doesn't really work like that, does it? It's not fair that she would be able to just live in the lap of luxury without having to do the services. So therefore, she had to come up with this alibi of this victimhood narrative in order to wriggle her way out of having to fulfill her royal duties, which, as we all know, can be very taxing and draining like any job. But of course, Meghan Markle does not believe sincerely in hard work, but I digress. So I'm going to continue on here with the article. It's been a lot simpler without them kicking off over why they couldn't just do what they wanted. Things are a lot calmer. Sophie Wessex, who has been described as the royal family's secret weapon, will take on an increased public role going forward. She's very close to the Queen and is said to have been a tremendous support to the Queen in the past 12 months. Prince Edward will help support and revamp the Duke of Edinburgh Awards in tribute to Prince Philip, as the adventuring scheme has exploded in inquiries since he has passed. A spokesman for the Prince of Wales did not comment. So that is basically the summary of how everyone feels about Meghan and Harry not being here. They are essentially doing a bit of a victory dance and they're relieved. And I imagine they are relieved and would be relieved because it has been a hell of a lot of work dealing with the likes of Meghan and Harry, having to put up with their constant lies and schemes, whining and moaning. And they've done the best thing in the long run for the firm, but what they haven't done is apologize for all of their misdemeanors, which is rather unfortunate because you think two grown adults who claim that they care about family and claim that they want to heal this rift, etc., so on and so forth, you would think that they would be able to at least apologize, but they have not. So someone has said Mimi is so far up her own backside, she couldn't possibly fit in. There is hundreds of years of pomp and ceremony, and she just couldn't cope with being the lowest of the low on the importance ladder. She would have to curtsy to everyone, but there was no one left to curtsy to her except the servants. Another person said, I think all of our lives would be calmer without seeing this woman in the press every day. She tried to turn the world against our royal family, and it had the opposite effect. The world is slowly waking up to this woman. Another person said, Meghan has a history of inability to compromise or resolve amicably. Demands of this typical attitude could never integrate her to the complexities of royalty, lack of foresight, obviously. And another person has gone on to say, popularity rate has sharply dropped here in the United States after that interview. I wonder how Netflix feels now that with this multi-million-dollar deal they signed with them, nobody makes money from people that are not respected or liked, who want to make money out of charity work as these two do. They burned their bridges to the UK and are working quite nicely to do the same here in America. Karma does work. And another person said, they can't be trusted. That is a big problem. They said they left because of, well, you saw the interview, yet moved to a huge mansion with million-dollar deals signed and worked on prior to leaving the UK, which is true. They had worked on those deals. They had worked on that Oprah relationship / franchise that they're trying to erect out in the United States of America well before they actually did leave the UK or even announce that they were going to leave the UK. So they was committing treason from the moment that they walked down that aisle, and Meghan Markle looked as though she was acting on that wedding day. It really did look like one big show, and she did not look like a woman who was even in the slightest emotionally moved about getting married. Another person has said, perfectly explained, Meghan seriously underestimated the duties ascribed to her as Duchess. I agree that strangely Harry, as her husband, didn't seem to help to ease her transition into her role as much as he perhaps should have. He almost set her up for a fall because he's not prepared to accept that protocol dictates everything without a doubt. He has to accept that responsibility. William wisely nurtured Kate into her role, so whilst both princes are protective of their wives, Kate was more expectant of what her duty entailed, and that allowed her to settle in far better. Oh, I don't think that Harry really wanted Meghan to settle into the royal role because he didn't even want to be in it himself. With all that being said, I will be back with another video. Bye guys.